Hello everybody, welcome back to Squealing Pig Guitars. My name is Ben Keatley and today I'm going to be comparing the PRS 594 with the Gibson Custom Shop 59 reissue. These are two awesome rock and roll machines and two very important single cut models to the guitar industry. So we're going to go over all the specs and tones that these two guitars have to offer and decide which one is better. Who will win the single cut game? So let's get started. So welcome back to another Squealing Pig Guitars video, everybody. Thank you for tuning in once again. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and like and comment down below. It really helps us out. But yeah, so today we're going to be comparing two of the most popular single cut models in the kind of guitar world, really. So here I've got the PRS 594 in a lovely tobacco burst. And basically this is PRS's kind of go at the Les Paul as such, their modern take of it. So we're going to go over the specs of this and compare it to the Gibson Les Paul and see which one's better. Break down some of the specs of this PRS. So one of the things off the bat I really like about this guitar is how comfortable it is to hold. It has a lovely belly cut at the back here, which is really nice. We've got some really nice contouring to the neck heel, which makes it a little bit easier to reach them higher frets, which you wouldn't find on a Les Paul. And the violin carved to the top is beautiful. Got this really nice kind of dish to it. In terms of construction, we have a two-piece flame maple top, which do appear on both guitars. This was kind of replicating a bit more of like a 58 look, I would say, because it's not that flamed, but if you catch it in the light just right, you will find a little bit of flame and dance to that top. The modern features of the PRS really set this aside from the Les Paul. Tonally speaking, you have basically two push-pull knobs on the tone controls, which split down these pickups here. And it basically makes the guitar itself a lot more versatile, which has a one-up against the Gibson. What I also like is the scale length of this guitar is 24.594 inches, meaning that the strings are a little bit looser and a little bit less tension. Obviously that's how it's got its name. The McCarty 594 is from that difference in scale length. The reason it's called McCarty as well is because this was designed alongside Ted McCarty. So Ted McCarty used to be a designer for Gibson, but began a partnership with PRS in the late 90s as they were designing some other guitars. You'll also find this guitar in a double cut version as well, which is a very nice guitar. What I really like about this cap is that we have reveal binding, which is basically where they scrape away the paint and you can see the flame maple through there. So we have the beautiful kind of PRS locking tuners, again, a kind of upgraded spec to the Gibson Les Paul. They locking tuners are better for stability. Obviously, you won't need to wind around these strings, so there's no chance of the string slipping. And then coming down to the pickups, we have a set of 5815 LT pickups. LT basically stands for low turn. PRS also uses the bridge and the tailpiece kind of setup, but they have lovely brass blocks for the tailpiece, which are very thick, which improves sustain and playability. That's the PRS for you, that's the specs. Let's go over to the Gibson. So guys, this is the Gibson Les Paul. This is a 59 reissue, the creme de la creme of vintage guitars. Obviously this is a reissue though. It's a 70th anniversary model, which is really nice. And as you can see, just a stunning instrument all around. So this is the classic Les Paul spec. So you have a two-piece flamed maple top. You've got a mahogany back and a mahogany neck with the kind of very famous 59 profile on the back, which is a very rounded, full-bodied neck profile, very comfortable. We have a set of custom buckers in this, which are basically trying to replicate the path sound from the original 50s guitars. We have two volumes, two tones, no coil switching, and a three-way switch. Got a lovely dark rosewood fretboard on here with celluloid inlays, and we've got that beautiful aniline dye on the back, which makes it a very luscious red kind of cherry color, which also leaks onto the binding like the originals did in the 50s. This is a made-to-measure model, meaning that it's a one-off and that a supplier or a retailer has basically requested this guitar spec by spec individually. We also have orange drop capacitors on the tone, getting lots of usable sounds with these two custom buckers. It's a very rounded neck profile, as I said. The fret edges are very, very clean, and it's got a lovely finish to it. This one's a Voss guitar, or a VOS guitar. So basically the finish isn't aged by any means, but it's slightly dulled down, so in person it has that very nice kind of slightly worn in feel. It's a very nice look across the guitar. And this is basically the golden era of Gibson really here. The reissues they're releasing now are some of the best they ever have, and they're very good playing guitars. Split that down now. So here are my thoughts after just hearing the clean tones. So one of the surprising factors to me was how different both them guitars sounded. Obviously the Gibson Les Paul has that classic mellow sound, very bluesy. It's got a lot of bass end and low mid-range as well, and responds really nicely to licks and kind of finger picking stuff. The PRS was quite trebly, but for kind of the purpose of today's video, I didn't want to change any of the settings to compensate against that. It was probably a little bit too trebly for me. I'd imagine that has something to do maybe with the brass saddles or just the pickups in general. Obviously the PRS is the more versatile instrument out of the two. Because of the single coil features, obviously you can get all sorts of tones, and we only kind of scrape the surface on what is capable today. I found that some of the single coil tones, especially in the middle, were a little bit too crisp and a little bit unusable in my opinion, but the neck pickup single coil mode was really nice. Okay guys, so that brings us to the end of another Squealing Pig Guitars video. So my opinion at the end of this comparison video is that I personally prefer the Gibson Les Paul. I do feel like I'm a little bit biased, obviously. I've always loved Gibson. I play Gibson personally, so I'm very used to that neck shape and the way it feels. I also prefer the tone. However, I do respect the PRS for its kind of modern approach to the Les Paul. As I said, I really like the bridge with the brass inserts. I like the single coil modes. I really like the scale length and how it creates a little bit more snap. And the locking tuners are a really good bonus. But obviously with the Gibson, you're kind of buying into that kind of vintage kind of look, sound, and feel. I think if you're a guy who really likes heritage and vintage guitars, then obviously the Gibson's the place to go. If you're more into modern guitars and looking for more of a versatile instrument, then go for the PRS. But most importantly, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm really interested to hear which one you prefer and which one you prefer the sound of, to be honest. But let us know down in the comment section below. And if you want to check out these guitars on our website, the links will be in the description below. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.